Aw yes. Mega Man. It's hard to believe we're already on the 6th installment of the Mega Man Classic series. Never did I imagine 10 months ago when I was taking a look at the first game that I would be on entry number 6 by the end of the year. In a way, this episode is sort of the end of an era. Sure, this only marks the halfway point on our journey through the Classic series, but with today's video, we will officially be saying goodbye to the original NES sexology. The NES titles could kind of be seen as a Classic series within the Classic series, having their own distinct feel and norms different from later titles. If trends continue the way they have so far, Mega Man 6 is set up to possibly be the most polished and well-presented game we've tackled yet. Potentially even the ultimate Mega Man NES game. I'm just as excited as ever to take a look at this next entry, so without any further ado, let's get started on Mega Man 6. When you first boot up the game, you'll be greeted with yet another short cutscene to lay out this week's story. All of the most powerful Robot Masters from across the world have gathered together for the first annual Robot Tournament. Things go awry quickly though when the wealthy Mr. X steals the 8 most successful contestants and reveals his plans to take over the world. As it turns out, Mr. X has actually been the man behind all of Dr. Wily's evil schemes so far, and yeah, it was just Dr. Wily the whole time. You once again are placed in the shoes of the Blue Bomber himself, Mega Man, side by side with his companion Rush to eventually reveal and unmask Mr. X and defeat Dr. Wily. Do I really need to explain how Mega Man games work again? You fight 8 Robot Masters in any order, each week to another's weapon. While we have officially seen the Mega Man norm of the first 8 stages being the best in the game broken in the past at this point, it's still safe to expect them to be a solid and integral part of the experience. I'll be the first to admit, after playing and covering 5 previous games, it's pretty hard for me to keep them all straight in my head. With all the NES games being so similar, it's no wonder the specifics tend to blend together. So I can only imagine what it must have been like for the devs 6 games into the franchise on the exact same hardware to try to make a game that feels new within the confines of the status quo. But to come right out and say it, I feel like this game has a problem with memorability. It's really odd because everything about the external presentation of the game stood out to me more than any other game so far. When I actually started playing it though, it began to feel extremely samey. As the number of Robot Masters has now ballooned up to 46, with each title the devs have gradually started making their theming more and more specific. This has resulted in some of my favorite and in my opinion most easily recognized stages in the franchise, such as Toadman Stage or Crystal Man Stage. This time around though, those strong motifs don't seem to be present nearly as much. Don't get me wrong, this is still an absolutely beautiful NES game and it still holds up very well visually by Mega Man standards. It's just that these beautiful scenic areas seem to appear much less often than they did in the past, instead replaced by much more generic feeling backgrounds or what I feel like is retreaded territory. In my Mega Man 5 video, I mentioned that I had yet to feel any real fatigue on the repeated formula of the Mega Man games, and that for me, each game I played was gradually becoming a more polished version of what the first game set out to be. I marked the 5th title as the entry to finally cross over from the previous proprietary Mega Man design philosophy and to just feel like an all-around solid platformer. Surprisingly, Mega Man 6 actually offers one of the biggest gameplay toss-ups we've seen in the series in quite a while. This game introduces the Rush adapters, allowing you to combine with Rush to unlock even more never-before-seen abilities. These Rush suits are more or less permanent weapon upgrades with automatically recharging energy meters. There are a total of 2 you can unlock, either giving you the ability to fly or making your attack much stronger, each one at the expense of some other ability like the slide or the charge shot. Unfortunately though, despite receiving these items relatively early on and through the natural course of completion, it really doesn't feel like the courses were designed all too much around these powers. The jet ability frequently feels OP, allowing you to easily skip entire waves of enemies or large sections of platforming. Really, to me, the entire game felt just a bit too prone to sections where you kinda just rush through and tank the damage instead of trying to do it properly. I think part of what makes this game feel so off to me is that compared to other games in the series, this one was pretty easy. A lot of both the Robot Master stages as well as the Wily Fortress levels felt noticeably shorter than you'd expect, and I could usually get to the end of one in less than 2 lives. The bosses were kind of the same way for me, although I'm not entirely sure where I stand on that issue. On the one hand, pretty much all of the boss fights you'll encounter, from the Robot Masters to any of the big bads in the Wily Fortress stages, are pretty much pushovers once you bring out whatever their weakness is. On the other hand though, almost all of them have pretty cool patterns to try and learn, which you do still need to do, and I had a ton of fun with the final boss rush that's been customary since the very first game. There are other things I really enjoyed too, like the method of secret hunting in the first 8 levels. You have to find an alternate exit to access a secret boss door. Do this and you'll be able to unlock Beat, who is cool to have around even if I didn't really use him. And hey, the Wily Fortress levels might not have been anything special, but they were still a million times better than the ones in Mega Man 2. And let's not forget, this is all accompanied by yet another phenomenal Mega Man soundtrack. It seems clear to me at this point that Mega Man 6 was developed as sort of a stopgap during the transitional period of the classic series over to the SNES. In fact, its UI is so similar to that of Mega Man 5 that many fans have been led to speculate that the 6th game might have actually been a very heavily modified version of the 5th, which would honestly make sense to me. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to crown Mega Man 6 as the ultimate realization of NES Mega Man, but just because I've been kind of down on it today, I don't want you to feel like I think it's a bad game. At the end of the day, while it might not have been the step forward I had hoped for, it's still an incredibly solid title that I would easily place above at least the first couple of games, if not the first few. And at the same time, all of this is just my opinion, my singular, very fallible opinion, so keep that in mind. It's for that reason that I encourage you to play through these games for yourself. Yes, all 6 of them if you really want to get a first-hand grasp on the series. I can't promise you'll always have fun, but Hidden in the Rough is some of the best in retro platforming the late 80s and early 90s have to offer. You can pick up all 6 games in one excellently presented package for the low price of just $15 in the form of the Mega Man Legacy Collection, which can be found on any even semi-modern video game console that uses electricity. We are now officially done with everything this compilation has to offer. Well, not quite, but if you want to hear more about that, I guess you'll just have to stay tuned for next time. And with that, we have now covered every single game in the original NES Mega Man hexology. Not to worry though, there's still plenty of Mega Man content left to come, so if you're excited for that, why not subscribe to be notified of any future uploads? If you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like? It's absolutely free and lets me know you care. As well as that, you could always leave a comment down below letting me know how my opinions are wrong and how yours are vastly superior. I would love to hear from you. If you're looking for other ways to show your support, you could always share my channel with anyone you think might enjoy it, or check out my socials, all of which are linked down below alongside any of the music used in this video. With that said, I'll see you all soon, and as always, thanks for watching.